In mid-March, my father David is going to attempt to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, commonly just called the PCT. It runs 2,650 miles from the Mexican border in California through Oregon and into the Canadian border in Washington, assuming that you go northbound or NOBO. He's going to take pictures and videos, as well as write scripts like the one I'm reading. I'm going to create YouTube videos and upload on this channel. This practice video is all about the shakedown hike he did with our neighbor Harold. Harold is going to start the trail with my father and attempt to hike the desert portion of the trail. My father planned to hike for Harold and a couple of scout leaders and himself, where they would go from the Sonoma Regional Wilderness to Lake Davao, camping overnight at Maggie's half-acre near Rose Peak. Rose Peak is the second highest peak in the Bay Area. Camping or hiking at the Ohlone Regional Wilderness requires a permit, which is actually a high-quality map. If the plan had worked out, they would have started at 350 feet elevation and camped at about 3,500 feet elevation. So basically 9 miles up on Saturday and 9 miles down on Sunday. My father got a call from the East Bay Regional Parks District about a week before saying that camping in the Ohlone Wilderness was prohibited due to recent storm damage. Harold came up with an alternative plan. Hiking up the Lafayette Ridge from the trailhead across the street from Alcalanes High School. He and therefore I don't really know what the plan was because my dad didn't plan it. The basic plan seemed to be starting at about the same elevation but only going to about 1,000 feet. They would camp somewhere in Briones. When they got to the trailhead, the plan was also canceled. More storm damage. At the spur of the moment, they decided to drive down to Sonoma and just day hike part of the original plan. They primarily stayed in the Sonoma Regional Wilderness, which is rolling cattle grazing hills. They went out on Camp Anola Road, which is a level gravel trail. At the Backpack Trail Junction, they made the real elevation gains of the day. They maxed at about 1,500 feet, where they practiced putting up their tent and had lunch. The whole time, the cloud and snow-covered Rose Peak and Mission Peak loomed over them. Because of the recent storms, they had a real creek crossing. On McCordle Trail, they got a real view of the Calaveras Reservoir. During the hike and car ride, my dad got to hear all about Harold's 42-year-long adventure. He hiked the entire Appalachian Trail in sections, only finishing it a few years ago. His new goal is to section hike the PCT. He's already done a couple of sections. In fact, Harold already has a trail name. My dad is fortunate to have hardcore Harold with him for the start of his 6-month-long adventure.